Alright, it's Thursday. It's the 21st of September. Creeping up on the end of it here. That's about 9:30. Got to run up to Cibolo, which is a pretty lengthy drive. And just felt like I really was ready to talk. So I did not record yesterday. I had a lot on my mind yesterday. I was somewhat overwhelmed yesterday. Did not get much sleep the night before last. actual details of getting this going, I've kind of lost sight of the bigger picture, which is where I'm at today. So getting through yesterday, I was like, one, I love this concept. I really want to see this concept come about. Two, I don't know if it's an equitable trade. I don't know if the stress about trying to get this up and running is equal to the benefit of if I make it successful, which is doesn't really equate, because if it is successful, it's worth anything. To me, it's worth anything and everything. But is it worth the risk? 3 rolling around my head yesterday was, I'm forgetting the biggest aspect of creating your own reality. You create your own reality. It's that simple. How can you forget something like that? How can you lose sight of that? So if I am committed to this, I believe that I can make it happen and this is what I want, then there's absolutely no reason in the world why it would come about. I believe that 100%. But fear is a tremendously powerful thing, and it can freeze you in your tracks. And that's where I was yesterday, frozen in my tracks because of fear. Fear leads to doubt, then you question, and then you lose sight of everything and you forget who you are, you forget how things work. You jumped into the ocean and you forgot that you can swim. So yesterday again was just very turbulent. And got through the day. Again, I was kind of wiped out again, lack of sleep. My normal daily routine was kind of thrown out of whack. I didn't get my afternoon meditative session because we had a luncheon, and then I didn't get it the day before. So I was also feeling a little bit more out of control because I hadn't had that opportunity to refocus, recenter myself like I do every day. And it had an impact. So we got home. I don't have any videos to process. I don't have anything that I need to work on. And we just kind of settled in to enjoy each other's company, kind of relax, not really think or talk about any of that. We debated on what we were going to have for dinner, whether we were going to cook or get some takeout or go somewhere. I finally decided that I just wanted to make something at home. And as usual, it was beneficial. I was able to basically open myself up, unlock myself from some of the things that I had been locking myself down with in the process of meal preparation. And it was a good meal. It was actually right up there with one of my better concoctions. And it was delicious. I mean, it was fantastic. I had to really force myself to stop eating because it was that good. And we watched a couple comedies, a couple movies, and it was Caleb to do that. And generally the rule is Caleb gets there early and opens the office, and we stay late to close it if necessary. And we're there after 5 o'clock every day, so no big deal. But we pulled into the parking lot, and there was one person there already who does not have keys or access. Nobody else was there, and it was 3 minutes after 8. I was a little aggravated about one, that we had kind of mistimed our morning and didn't get there when I was hoping to, but also that the employee that would normally be responsible for that wasn't there either. So I just started to feel a little edgy. I was already a little edgy because we got caught in some heavy traffic, which put us behind more. We probably, if traffic would have been normal, so this stuff, I just drove all the way up here 2 days ago, and this stuff was laying here at the curb, was supposed to be picked up, and it's still not. Anyway, so it really took a lot of focus for me to not allow myself to get caught up in the aggravation and the frustration. Traffic frustrated me, was aggravating. We were a couple minutes behind because of that. Then nobody was there, and that frustrated me. And I just, I'm just going to let it all go, and I'm just going to move forward with my day. What can I do today? What decisions can I make to advance every bit of my life? And I got in, and just my normal routine, open my email, sort through every email, get that all processed and away, make notes about what I need to do today, what was done yesterday, what was a carryover from yesterday, what things I completed yesterday. Just getting my work mind kind of stable, focused, and so I can maybe start thinking about other things. My mind started to wander into, I want to make these decisions, and if I was angry, if I was frustrated, if I was pointing the finger at the job and the traffic and using it as an excuse to get mad, I would have more motivation to make decisions, to make a change, to make a difference. And then I started dwelling on that, how much easier it is to make big changes and take big leaps when you're angry, when there's other things associated with it. Anger is a tremendous motivator, which is why we create irritating, annoying, angry situations in our lives when it's time for a change, so that we can easily make that decision. And sometimes they're drastic decisions and they're drastic actions that follow that allow you to make some of those changes. But at some point I got tired of having to be angry all the time to make those decisions. So it's been a conscious effort over the last year to make decisions that weren't anger driven. So I kind of reverted back to that today. I'm like, if I was mad, if I let all this get to me and said, fuck this place, I can't do this anymore, I'm gonna do this restaurant, and boom, I would be able to make a decision. I would be able to take some actions, and then I may regret them later because there's no, you didn't think them out. Although I've been thinking them out for a long time. So I really just kind of tried to calm myself, settle myself, keep myself in a very balanced position, which is key to life, and make a decision and make some choices and about what actions to take that would move me along in the direction that I want to go. And again, I generated the Fox logo. I have it saved on my computer at home, but I also emailed it to myself at work, and I have it on my desktop. So it's there as a reminder. It's just saved as an icon. I can open it whenever I want, but it's there, so I can see it anytime my desktop is up. And I saw it, and I love the logo. I love what it represents, and I love the concept behind it. And that should be the motivating factor, something that I love, something I am drawn to and attracted to, and the fear shouldn't have anything to do with it. Unfortunately, it does. The fear of loss, risk, danger, and the more I thought about that, the more the ideals started to come to mind, and I started to remember why I was doing all this. It's not just to start a business. It's not just to go through that process and be successful at it and to show other people how to do it. I mean, there's so many factors that go into my motivation here of why I want to do this. I forgot the most important one, and it was to make a change. I'm trying to position myself and put myself into a role where I can make changes. And a lot of what happened yesterday, which I took note of, was interested in, and there was a lot of different little things that happened yesterday that sparked inside of me but didn't actually catch on fire until today. So now I'm kind of metaphorically burning with this fire and this energy that it's undeniable. I can't hide it. I can't extinguish it, and I don't want to extinguish it. It's there, and it's motivating me in a positive way, not the negative motivation I would need if I allow myself to get angry and get frustrated and lose my temper. But one thing from yesterday, my son texted me and said that he really wants to go to a specific school. And he's told me a couple of schools over the last couple of years that he's interested in pursuing his dreams. And he, out of the blue, texted me and said, I really want to go to this school. It's in California. It's really expensive. It's really hard to get into. And his words, you told me anything that I want, if I set my mind to it, if I set my focus and my will and my desire, I could get it. And he asked one simple thing: can you put your will and your focus on this as well? Can you help me focus on drawing this into my life? And I was unbelievably proud that he had taken that step, taken that approach, used that perspective. Right there, I've made a difference in the world. I've impacted somebody that is trying to create a better life for themselves, and they're trying to do it in the most positive way. That was touching, and it actually makes me feel very emotional today because I'm kind of overrun with emotions today. But I just responded. I was just sitting down into a meeting, a lunch meeting that we had yesterday, which took several hours and was somewhat distracting but somewhat motivational in itself. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to respond to him the best way I can in a quick text without putting too much thought into it because I'm engaged in something else. And just something, your desires are my desires. I wish nothing but the best for you, and anything that I can do to help bring you whatever you want, I'm definitely willing to do. There's just something simple like that. And then I started thinking about it. I started thinking about the fear that I had been experiencing overnight. I had started thinking about how much I have wanted to start a business, especially a restaurant, in my life. I mean, how far back this goes and how much of a driving force in my life everything has been around kind of getting to that point. And again, it's only a certain facet of my life. It's not my whole life, but it's one of my greatest desires. And I was considering abandoning it because I was afraid of failure. And I'm like, what kind of example am I setting for my son, who is trying to achieve his own dreams and is trying to do it in the way that I kind of preached to him, and I'm failing to do it myself? And that really kind of was a gut punch yesterday. I was like, I need to do this whether I'm afraid or not. I need to make it successful because I need to show him that's exactly how this reality works. That's exactly how your reality works. This is all a game, and you are the master of that. So I was set with that, and that was kind of stewing in the back of my head as we got into this meeting. And then this meeting was all about politics and government, which is also something I am very much engaged in. I don't talk about it much, but I spent a lot of my time thinking about it, and have since I was in grade school. And I'm not going to get into it today, but it motivated me again, which anytime I hear this particular speaker speak, which I've heard him speak several times, and it's all government based, I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to get involved in that aspect too. And I was like, you know what? And this is what was going through my mind through the meeting as we're talking about, part of this concept was a place to gather. And the whole salon concept was a place to gather and discuss intellectual matters, philosophical matters, societal matters. There's multiple things that this business is. It's not just creating a cool environment. It's not just creating a cool menu. It's not just about enjoying food and drinks, and it's not just about enjoying other people's company. It's about something bigger than that. But it really still wasn't seeing the whole picture, and these were just fragments of thoughts that were going through my head, but they're all part of who I am. They've always been there, and they come together at different periods of my life to create different pictures. I've used that analogy so many times that I've just like millions of puzzle pieces, and you can put them together and create different pictures. And sometimes it's a small picture, sometimes it's a large picture, and sometimes it's all encompassing. But those things, they were having an impact on me yesterday, but didn't really create the biggest impact until today. So as I was sitting there at my desk and thinking about all these things, and thinking the thoughts that I was having yesterday, one about trying to inspire and motivate others to pursue their dreams, and two, that I'm not engaged in as many things as I could be or should be, that as beneficial as it is to this reality and this universe and all that is for me to have the thoughts that I have, if I don't do something to share them and kind of expand them, then I'm not doing everything that I could be doing. And I got on, I needed a diversion, I needed a break, which during those times, that's when I open my Twitter feed and just start scrolling through things, or I open my Facebook feed and I just start scrolling through things, because occasionally there's some inspirational stuff, occasionally there's some entertaining stuff, a lot of the times there's some aggravating stuff, but it's distraction. It's something to take my mind off of where I'm at, and just kind of reboot, give a little bit of a chance to kind of step back and then come back in. And in that process, I came across some extremely motivating posts, and it's not important where they were, if they were on Facebook or Twitter, and I honestly don't remember which ones were where, but what is important is that there were some things that really touched me, and it triggered that emotional state to the point where I almost felt like I was going to start crying. I just, for no reason, just feeling overwhelmed with emotions, and it really hit me. I'm like, all right, well, what can I do with this? This is a very powerful state that I'm in. Emotions are extremely powerful. What can I do to focus these emotions on something and make a difference? And again, I just saw this vision of a magnifying glass, and being a kid and burning leaves and paper with a focused beam of light. What can I do with these emotions to focus them on something and alter the circumstances? And that's where everything just kind of opened up and ballooned, and I was like, you know what, none of this has been about just making money, just creating financial security, not just about the experience. It's about making a difference. I mean, that's ultimately the motivation behind all this was making a difference. And the whole Sage Gourmand concept was about making a difference. It's about making a difference on a daily basis, but opening up the doors, creating the opportunities to create change on a much larger level. And I almost took my breath away, and I was like, all right, well, what can I do right now? I need to do something right now to express this. And one was like, I need to get the camera and I need to talk about this now while it's fresh in my mind, while it's I'm feeling it. I'm in the moment and I need to express this now. I need to capture this and save this. And so, boom, step one, record. Two, I was like, you know what, I need to start engaging more. As much as I've focused on gaining followers on Twitter and Instagram and following people and getting follow backs and getting people to follow me and then following them back to create more of a base, so that when I'm ready to start sharing on a larger level, I've got somebody there to witness it. I've got an audience. I was like, I need to start engaging. I need to start doing that more, not just trying to get the numbers up. So I was like, you know what, I need to do this. I need to make this happen. I need to take this concept as it is. I need to share it with as many people as possible. And I need to find the people that are out there that have the resources that can help make this come about. And I need to eliminate the fear. I need to get the fear out of this process. I need to shut it down, and I need to do it as quickly as possible. And I already feel like it's subsided. I've kind of beaten it down inside, and I feel much more positive and motivated about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, especially now that I'm again seeing this bigger picture again. And anytime that moment of clarity comes around and you're able to see things from that much wider perspective and it all comes together, it almost seems unreal how easy it is to get lost in those details, how obsessed I had become with the details of starting this business, of finishing this book, and that I forgot the reasons why I was doing it, and being kind of washed back to where I'm at now and seeing it from a grander perspective and how it all fits into the scope of the nature of reality and who we are and the impact that can have on other people. It's moving to me. I feel almost carried away. So I don't know where that's going to take me. I still have distractions. I have to go inside this house and take video and the pictures and put it on the market for rental to, again, fulfill my obligation to my employer and the owners of this home. But I'm still working on moving this concept along and trying to figure out the steps to take to make it work. And I'm trying to shift again my perspective from looking at those steps and saying, all right, well, how do I make these steps? What steps do I need to take? I need to shift my perspective more to the goal itself and say, well, this is what I want. How is it going to come to me? And in that process, the steps become apparent. They reveal themselves, and all you have to do is actually take them. It's when you're staring into the dark and into the abyss and you're trying to manifest the steps in front of you 1, 2, 3 at a time, and you lose sight of what the goal is. You're so focused on the steps, you may not be placing them in the direction you need to go. And I know that's kind of an obscure visual metaphor for this, but you really need to focus on the goal and be mindful of the steps as they present themselves to you and just take them as they come. And that's where I am today. That's what I'm focused on is the goal on multiple levels. One, to ultimately make a difference, taking a step back, having this restaurant / business, speaking career, writing career all come about to be able to get me to that point. And I need to focus on those and not necessarily, all right, well, who do I need to call right now to make this happen? Who do I need to talk to? What paperwork do I have to file? What actions do I have to take? And again, just kind of let those come naturally and take them as they come. They'll present themselves, and I just need to act on them when they do. So that's where I'm at, and I'm hoping for the best.